you will, follow me as I take a walk. I'm walking in the aftermath of Hurricane Irene, and I'm in a forest. It's a forest that I frequently visit, but this time it's littered with fallen trees and branches and watery bogs. The path is narrow, in some places impassable, in others furrowed by the metal wheels of wagons that were used long ago to haul wood and bales of hay. Making my way requires full attention, the kind of attention we call mindfulness. I am certainly mindful of where I place my next step, and without any intention, I also become mindful of sound. With each step I take, the sound of my foot crunching the twigs and debris of the forest floor arises. Between steps, there is no sound. I might call this silence or quiet, but I prefer the word no sound. It carries less baggage, fewer stories that cloud the immediate experience. And as you may know, in meditation, we try to move as close as we can to the immediacy of an experience, one that is not therefore filtered through words, ideas, or stories that we might tell ourselves. One foot after another falls on the forest debris, and I hear crunch, no sound, crunch, no sound. A little later I hear a It's the sound of a distant flock of wild turkeys. I think they use the to communicate where they are to others in the flock. And this time, different than the sound, no sound of my footsteps, I hear the no sound in the background and the in the foreground. A rapid is sound surrounded by no sound. A little later, I'm fortunate enough to hear the whistle of a wood thrush. If you've ever heard it, it's very beautiful. It's actually a hollow sound, so hollow, so wide and open. It sounds to me like no sound. Actually, it sounds like no sound is present within the sound. So there's beginning to be a breakdown of the wall that we have between sound and no sound. And we realize there isn't such a wall. Nothing in the forest grabs my attention for a while, and so I start to think. Words come to my mind, stories come to my mind. And the story that particularly grabs me is about a bear that I know lives nearby. A bear that could appear from behind the next outcropping of rock. And soon I am caught in fear. Well, with thoughts in my mind about bears and feelings in my body communicating fear, there is no room for anything else. I'm grabbed by that story I'm telling myself. And the sounds of the forest and the sounds of the birds and the wild turkey are not there for me. nor is no sound there for me. All these are different stories, they're different experiences of sound and its relationship to no sound. First sound and no sound come one after another as I walk. Crunch, no sound, crunch, no sound. Then there's the general quiet or no sound as background to the of the turkeys, which is followed by the hollow sound that includes sound and no sound of the wood thrush. And lastly, we have the absence of sound or no sound as I am caught with thoughts about a bear. In our daily lives, we live with a wide range of sounds, often too many. What makes meditation so special is that we do it in a quiet place. And there's more no sound. But there is one sound that I know I associate with meditation, and many people do. Many people have a bell near them, a bowl bell, that they strike to call attention to the beginning of a meditation. The bell says, "Attention, it's time to be quiet." And the sound just after is part of it. Bong and no sound. The bong of the bell reminds me of that old Zen story about a master standing on the top of a hill who, when asked by a passing traveler how to find wisdom, he simply called out, "Attention, attention," and he said no more. That was all the sound that was needed. I want to end with a little poem by Wallace Stevens as he explores sound. I do not know which to prefer, inflection or innuendo, the blackbird whistling or just after.